You are listening to CrossTalk, a safe place to discuss addiction, recovery, harm reduction, and everything in between. Support for this podcast comes from the Kentucky Opioid Response Effort and Advocates of Recovery. Content and production by the team at Turning Point Recovery Community Center. Now, buckle up and get ready for the show.
Welcome everyone to CrossTalk Recovery, the recovery podcast that supports all forms of recovery. I'm Matt Lewis, and I'm here with
Sam Peterson,
Matt Hobby,
and Joey Colson.
All right, welcome you all. I'm glad to have you on today to come in here and tell me about how I'm probably the greatest sponsor that has ever, the greatest AA sponsor that has probably ever lived. It's going to be, I don't like compliments. I'm not real big on compliments. I try to stay humble, but I know that you guys are about to just shower me with praise.
Well, let's take a look at that real quick. How long did it take you to get a sponsee into the field?
I think I read that.
He's on a hot streak right
I don't
now.
pressure them to do things that, I try to lead by example.
I think they're a reflection of you, though. And I mean, all I'm going to say is,
look, okay,
one of my very first sponsees are still working in the recovery field,
That's, to be honest, I really am not that good of a sponsor. I don't do anything, except be there. I'm there, but
which matters.
And to say that is because I am both of their sponsors, Matt and Joey's. I usually don't.
How many Matts have you sponsored?
There was a period where I only sponsored Matt's.
Right.
So I think there's like four.
I mean, there's really one. I mean, you sponsor really one.
One,
but
you,
a few others.
You are the one.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
and my sponsor,
what's that other Matt's
my
name?
sponsor's name is Matt. Yeah.
It wasn't him. It was somebody else that I was real proud of. I couldn't remember.
No, I'm proud of a lot of them, man. A lot of them are doing really good, and that's just their own willingness and effort and where they were at the point of their life, But I wanted to have you guys on today because, one, Joey has just started working with us here at Turning Point.
That's what's up.
We always try to welcome the new staff members on here and get them involved in the podcast. So we wanted to have him on, and then, Matt's just a linger, a tag along.
But not really. I mean, he's like the office guru.
I wanted to get out of work early.
There's a lot of dudes there.
And it worked.
Yeah. No, but Matt's working at Center Point, where we all came through.
Yep.
So, I mean, doing good things. Proud of them both. So I just wanted to have them on today to kind of share a little bit about their stories through the madness, through recovery, what worked for them, and with how they're doing today. So, one of y'all want to start it out?
Got it.
I guess that means I'm going first.
Yeah, let's get to know you, man.
So,
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
31 years old.
Is that
in my prime.
I thought you were much older than that.
Thank you. From Bowling Green, Kentucky. Got in a little legal trouble, as that's usually the way that most of us get involved in recovery. So I was sent 3 hours west to Paducah, which I didn't know where Paducah was until I got to Center Point, and it's been a blessing in disguise. I wasn't too happy at first when I got here, to be completely honest with you, because we have an RKC in Bowling Green. Mm-hmm. You're so much in denial that you think staying close to home would be good for you. It's turned out to be a blessing. I went, as they said, graduated Center Point. Actually went through with Joey. They let me peer mentor, so I did that for a couple of months and then got a job opportunity to work the front desk, which is what I'm currently doing now. I love it. I owe a lot to Center Point and my sponsor. He's great, by the way.
Oh, that sounds terrible when he says
I knew the praise was going to come.
I will say this, man. I get to watch y'all guys, go through the program, and even with the setback of having an okay sponsor, I mean, y'all have really flourished in the program.
The odds were against us early on. We played on the same softball team.
Yeah.
We've had some laughs.
Mud Bowl.
The Mud Bowl.
Man, that was probably one of the funnest game of softball I've ever played.
I couldn't move for about 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, I was injured. I fell down a couple times.
I started it out with the face plant in the mud. First hit,
Yeah. Yeah, that's good times, man. That's what I'm so happy about I thought recovery was going to be boring and no fun at all, and we get to have times like that and remember them and, you know, laugh about them, and it's good stuff, man.
But for real, super proud of you guys. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the beauty of recovery too. Is people that wouldn't normally mix. When I saw Joey for the first time,
What are you saying? You're better than us?
Absolutely not. Thank you. My sponsor chimes in. When Joey first come in, that's your mindset. That was my mindset. Was, if we were out in public, I don't know that we would talk. And that's what I'm getting at. It has nothing to do with
we would.
me or Joey.
Yes, we would.
And then by the end of it, we're really good friends. We're both working in recovery. We continue to be good friends. I would have never met Sam or Matt if I wouldn't have came to Paducah. It's just funny how things work out, and God puts people in your life that you would have never met otherwise.
Yeah, like me and Matt would have never hung out. Nah, probably not.
Probably not.
But we're really good friends today.
And I didn't like him at all at first.
No, he didn't like me at all, and I really didn't think he was going to make it. So.
I mean, if you guys, and nobody did. But you guys, like when I got there, Sam was a peer mentor, and my first rehab, I didn't know.
You thought I was the police?
Yeah, I didn't know that he was a guy who just came through the program. I just thought he's some guy who wants to teach recovery. Look at him, he looks like a car salesman. He was a car salesman. I was like, oh, this guy, he's scary, and I don't want anything to do with him. But, I love Sam today.
Yeah, I love Matt, too. All the Matts, all the Matts have met. There's been a lot of them now.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right.
What about you, Joey?
Oh, Florida.
Me. All right. A little bit about my background. I was born into a low-income family. Like the typical story, got on drugs early, ripping around the streets, played sports, but, drugs was my primary thing. So, went to school down there in Florida, eventually moved up here. That's when it really took off. I was constantly getting in trouble, in and out of jail, went to prison. Been to 9 different treatments. Went through Centerpoint twice, even though Matt's as good as a sponsor as he is. His sponsors still tend to fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it happens. You did great.
So you're getting kicked out? Are you blaming that on me?
Yeah, you should have paid. You should have spent more time with me. I might have not done what I did.
Yeah.
Well, gave me better advice.
I was learning.
Yeah, I was learning experience for both.
Decided to come in the podcast there.
Well, see, a little behind the scenes. This podcast studio was shot in a closet. Then we share with other people. Sometimes they come in when I don't let them know we're shooting a podcast, and they turn on the lights and they make a bunch of noise. And sometimes I try to ignore it, and it's about time we just pointed it out.
Yeah, it's just like, are we going to address the elephant in the room?
At least they turned the light out. One time they came in here and left the light on. Anyway.
But got the opportunity to go back through Centerpoint. I had a guy that works out there, Connor. He wrote a letter on my behalf. My mom, my girl showed up to court, and just honestly, God willing, that they allowed me to come back in. I came in with a different mindset, different attitude, but I didn't lose who I was. I still came in with my personality. But definitely I stayed in position. I listened. I didn't listen to what was asking me. I just listened to what people would tell me. I couldn't take suggestions. It didn't work for me. Graduated the program. I stayed in peer mentor for 4 months. Opportunity came available with the sign language. My mom is deaf, so I happened to be at the right place at the right time at Turning Point, speaking to my mom on a video chat. Brandon seen it. You shot that opportunity out there for me. That's about the only good thing you did for me, Matt.
At least he did one thing,
Yeah,
That counts.
I guess, yeah.
Some people.
And the sign language thing has opened doors for me with this job at Turning Point, my training. So I'm very excited to see where it's going to take me.
You're getting ready to be peer support certified as soon as you pass this test. What is that, next week?
Yeah. September 1st, yeah.
Yeah, you got to go to Louisville for a week of training.
Yeah.
And, man, big things. It's crazy what I love seeing that stuff for both you guys, like seeing you guys come through, taking advantage of opportunities, the promises being fulfilled. I I know that I didn't do anything to facilitate it other than be there to support you and encourage you along the way. And, you know, I end up becoming friends with most of my sponsees more than anything.
Right.
You know, I'm just someone who's rooting for them and trying, like I said, try to lead by example. But, you know, recovery is a little different. Edited because of Joey. We'll be right back.
Did you know that recovery from substance use disorder and mental health go hand in hand? That is why the caring and compassionate mental health professionals at Four Rivers Behavioral Health in Paducah are here to help you find your balance. They are proud of you for making the changes necessary to live a healthier life and would love to see you reach your full potential. Give them a call at 270-442-7121 or stop by the downtown location at 425 Broadway in Paducah, Kentucky.
As a woman in recovery, I know how important having a fellowship of women has been for me. Come join us at the Women of Worth All Recovery Support Group here at Turning Point, 415 Broadway, Paducah, Kentucky, every Friday night at 6 p.m., where we discuss our personal experiences in recovery. Hope to see you there.
On a serious note, that's when I saw Joey come alive in Center Point, and we're not talking about what we were talking about a minute ago. Was we had a guy come in that needed sign language interpreter, and we saw Joey as kind of the class clown. You know, it was never a dull moment when Joey was around. He kept the mood light, and then this guy gets there, and then Joey can do that, and I'm like, what? Are we talking about the same Joey that I'm talking about?
Colson?
And then he proceeds to, during the meetings, classes, he gives up, you know, his time with no pay, nothing in return, and helps this guy communicate, which he wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. Like that, I think that's when it all came together for Joey.
Doing something for somebody else with nothing in return.
Where have we heard that?
I mean, I don't know why that works out so well, you know?
I actually enjoyed it for real. Like just being able to get back with sign language, like like that. Because I used to help a youth group in Katie's, and it was neat to go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure it felt good to give back. And then I know a lot of guys looked up to you for that through the program. They could see, like, okay, there's another side of Joey. And, you know, and everyone took advantage. Staff took notice of that, you know, Brandon, everybody. And now, look at where you are now. You're
I'm doing great.
down here.
I mean, Brandon loves my hands. I mean, I'm doing great.
Yeah. Right? What's that face say?
You gave it to me, so I just thought I'd give it back, you know?
Yeah. That's
Make
the
it
side
real
that we saw
strange.
the whole time until
I mean, you know, I don't ever want anybody to lose their personality. My problem, I've said on here many times, is that I'm still kind of a smart ass. You know,
Yeah, but it's an enjoyable.
Right, but
For
some
most of
people,
us.
some people that get the brunt of it, like Michelle, all the time, probably don't enjoy it as much as others do. But
I think it's to the point now where if you weren't the smart ass that you were, sometimes people be like, "Is Matt mad at me?"
right. I mean, it's you know, it's how I show love.
Yeah.
But.
So, what about you? What's your plans after, you know, like you're doing the whole office thing? What are you gonna...
when I get involved, things seem to take a turn for the worse. So, as my sponsor would tell me, just do what's in front of me to be done, and let God worry about the rest. But along with Joey, the timing, being in the right place, the same can be said about me. I was in the peer mentor office. An opportunity came up. They kind of pulled me aside and said, "Would you be interested?" And I'm already thinking I'm going to do 2 terms. For those of you who don't know, a term in peer mentor is 3 months. So I'm thinking, okay, 6 months. I want to do that, and then 3 months in, I get this opportunity that I wasn't even thinking could happen.
It's amazing how that
And,
works.
you know, when I get out of the way, good things seem to happen. And,
Right.
and I'm trying to stay there. So I like my job. But with anybody, with any profession, like you obviously want to I don't know if better yourself is the right terminology, but
And I mean, I think we all want to grow in our jobs and our recovery.
Yeah, you don't want to just become complacent and say, okay, I'm happy here and I'm not looking to grow and improve. I mean, we're rebuilding lives that we have almost completely wasted, you know. And the way I look at it is like, you know, we have to be continuously moving forward and looking to grow. And I think that's a good thing, you know. Like, yeah, and what I think is cool about like the people that are working at Centerpoint right now is a lot of them are guys that you came through with, you know, that have taken over some of the bigger positions. And you see that happen as you stay, you get the opportunity to move up in there. That's one of the great things about that place. They'll let you. I mean, you know, Max and Shannon, they both came through there and they've, you know, stayed there and worked their way up.
If you look around Four Rivers in general, which is the parent company to Turning Point, Centerpoint, and a bunch of other Fuller
Correct.
Center,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of people in recovery working in this building and other buildings, a lot of them from Centerpoint, you know. So, kudos to them for knowing that, hey, these guys, let's get them sober, put them to work.
Right.
in all seriousness, though, it's like, so we came for recovery or to appease the courts,
Yeah.
or family members or wives,
Some
whatever it may
reason.
be, and then now we've gotten recovery today. You know, it's just for today. But we've also gotten careers.
Right.
I mean, they're making money off of getting in trouble and them sending you to a punishment. You know.
Yeah.
And
Which is what I felt like it was when I got there.
I absolutely felt like it's what it was. And now we have a career in the field that we didn't want to be there in the first place. I mean,
Right.
it's just
It's the beauty of recovery, you know.
I mean, and it's like there's no 100% safe space, but as far as like working and being in recovery and working, but working in recovery is that extra little accountability, that extra little support around you of people who are all trying to you're trying to help people, you're trying to set an example. It was something that I knew that I needed, you know, to keep me on track because, you know, and you see the guys that go out there and work and money become their priority, and it's not a very high success rate of that. You know, I mean, it happens. People can do it. You know, it all boils down to your choices and your willingness. But, you know, the people that I know who are strong in their recovery, close to me now, are all working in recovery somewhere. We have several recovery centers in this town, and a lot of the guys that I came through with are working as either peer supports or, you know, in different areas, these different recovery centers all around here. You know, which I think is a beautiful thing, like having such a strong recovery community around us. And everybody's like, you know, we give each other a hard time and we crack jokes, and that's the fun of it. But we really do care about each other and want to see each other succeed, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I think of my coworkers as my work family, you know?
Yeah.
Do we always get along? No, but we always are looking out for each other. If somebody's really having a bad day, then it's like, hey man, what's going on? Or hey, how are you doing? You know, and I mean, it's great to go into work and it not feel like work most days.
that's a great point. It's like this is the easiest job that I've ever had to get up out of bed in the morning. It's not a bad thing to wake up and go to work. Like I'm not dreading it. The weeks fly by. There are hard days.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not physically taxing most of the time. I mean, you and Joey were out in 99-degree heat all day yesterday. I'm sure that was
great time, though,
fun.
man.
Right, but
was hot.
it can be mentally taxing at times. I mean,
I've never once, even as a peer mentor or here, ever woke up one day and was like, hey, I don't want to go. I want to call in, or I want to take bed rest. I never once felt like that.
Nope.
Yeah.
I showed up every day. I did what I was supposed to do, and then some. And
I agree.
enjoyed it.
The only day I've missed, or the only week I missed, I had COVID. And since I've been here, and it was 2 years, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've been working here at Turning Point. So
Congratulations,
that
man.
was probably a good week at Turning
did great.
Point. That was
Man, no, it was not because how many people had COVID at once?
Oh, that first Christmas I worked, everybody but like 2 or 3 of us had COVID, and it was like we were working 8 to 8s every day.
Yeah, it was a lot, man.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, we had fun with it. No one was really coming in. It was winter. You know, as I said to many people, you know, only weak people get COVID. So until I got it. But I knew I was going to get it.
Me and you both knew our numbers were coming up because we dodged too many bullets. You know.
Oh yeah. Everybody else would be walking around with masks and we'd be like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we weren't. Got it.
Your immune system sucks.
I just said I've only had 1 week that I was sick in the last 2 years.
So are we going to talk about the new thing that's been going on?
What's the new thing?
Your new nickname, Matty Bear.
Matty.
How did that happen? I mean, you know,
this is definitely getting edited out.
I'm not down on the floor all the time. So I mean, how did this happen? You know,
People want to know.
Yeah.
I messed up.
Who gave you a name?
Joey called me Matty, and he'd never done it before, and knowing better, I let him know I didn't like that name.
It developed into the Matty Bear.
Spiraled into I
Greatness.
Just have to pretend like I like it again.
Yeah, that's great.
That's just such a genuine smile, by the way.
Yeah.
Matty Bear. Who's your sponsor? Matty Bear.
Yeah.
So
you knew I was going to bring it up.
I actually didn't even think that was going to get brought up. It didn't even cross my mind that it would. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like if we keep saying Matty, it'd be so many times you can't edit the whole thing without just doing away with the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to edit it out because then it would be like you win. You know?
And we have 2 Matts on set, so that's now Matty.
That's Matty, and that's
Bear.
Matthew Parker.
Matty B.
Sorry, you know.
Don't get my legal name on this podcast.
I didn't
man.
realize that.
Yeah. So, there's
So bowling.
yeah, I've been killing you there too.
Yeah, I'm no good at bowling anymore. We started. They wrote me into actually starting a
Real
bowling
league.
league.
I heard.
We're in a bowling league
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
That costs money.
Matt's been bowling for free because, you know, we're all people in recovery and we get there and we're like, oh, it's only $1.25 a game. I got it. Matt hadn't paid in 2.5 years.
That is not true. But yeah, I don't pay very often. Now I pay every time. And I didn't know that this bowling league ran through March.
Yeah, none of us knew it.
Of next year.
None of us knew it was until March until we went to the thing.
That's some serious.
I remember
I mean, it's quite a commitment.
she said March, and I looked over at Matt like,
Because they were saying January, I think till January, and I'm like, oh, all right, January.
Yeah.
And then she says March. I'm like,
So it's every week, no breaks, none of this, straight through.
no bye weeks. I mean, we can not show up and they'll just put your average up.
Yeah.
But which I probably will do at some
But
point.
at some point in time, I imagine all of us will miss once. You know?
We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, did you know it's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland because they get lonely? Here at Turning Point, we don't want you to ever be lonely either. That's why we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Always feel free to come hang with our friendly staff, and don't forget your guinea pig. We're located at 415 Broadway Street, downtown Paducah.
Hello, everybody. You want to know something? My biggest issue with meetings is despite their name, they are never about me. Here at Turning Point, all of our meetings are for you and about you. We have meetings at least 3 times a day, 7 days a week. We are located at 415 Broadway, Paducah, Kentucky. Call 270-444-3621 for more information.
But it's fun. We've been bowling once a week for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And we're going to get smoked in the league.
But we're not going to finish. I don't
chance of us winning any. Is there like a last place trophy or?
I don't think we're going to finish in
most
last, man. We
improved?
were in 8th after the first week.
Did they adjust your score?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
like a handicap league?
You get a handicap
league, yeah. And then your handicap changes every like 3 games, I guess, something like that.
Yeah, but like the reason we got smoked so bad, which we lost 1 out of 3 last week, or we lost 2 out of 3, 1-1, was dude bowled a 270 and a 250.
Yeah, but I imagine there's gonna be a lot of those guys.
Well,
Where's Roger at?
but he was getting pins on top of it.
He didn't bowl great this week.
He was also he had not been bowling that well because he was getting a handicap.
Yeah,
He was getting like 14 pins, so it means he was really bowling normally around the 190 range. He
oh
bowled
yeah, the guy
a
on the other
250
team.
and a 270.
Yeah. But yeah, Roger's
And a
supposed to be our
220.
anchor, you know. And
So you're blaming it on Roger? Am I hearing this
Absolutely.
right?
well, I consistently don't bowl well. I'll have like a good game, and then I'll have a bunch of bad games.
Like
But Roger's always good.
he's the anchor. You know, we put him in bowling last because he's the best bowler on the team, and he has not been either week.
Yeah.
So you're saying his skills are fitting up to his name now. He's pulling y'all down.
Well, yeah, he's actually been the anchor.
Yeah.
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 But people think
Which I told him that last week.
Yeah.
Well, before I got into recovery, that's what I thought. That's all I saw was the meetings that I had to go to. Had to get my sheet signed. Okay, and then you go to classes, and that's all you see. And I didn't see the behind the scenes things that Centerpoint allows you to do. Like I'd never been to a treatment center where if you take care of business Monday through Friday, you get to enjoy the weekends. Your family can come.
Oh, we didn't get to do any of that
because of COVID. But I thought that was so interesting. Like if you earn it, you a month or 2 in, you earn the right to go out after the classes are done for that day. Get your meeting in the in the community downtown Paducah. Have
Not only
fun.
that, it takes you out of that bubble.
Exactly.
That recovery bubble. That little safe space. It gives you the opportunity to run into bad situations, good situations, and learn how to deal with those things. I think that's why it works so well.
Yeah, it's testing your willingness. It weeds out the people that don't really want it. There's an argument for both. Like I know for me, from going to high school here, even though I lived in Louisville for 20 years, I went to high school here. My family's all here. I have a bunch of friends in this town. I don't know that I like being able to go out that I could have. I don't know that I was ready to pass those tests, especially not early on in that program. But I totally get where guys come in there, and once you're able to go out to like make friends go to outside meetings and make friends with other people in recovery and have that opportunity to grow your network of recovery
and learn how to deal with real life situations. I mean that's why addiction is why we end up in rehab, but a lot of the addiction is because we don't know how to deal with anything.
Correct.
Right.
I only know how to get high. I had a good day, let me get high. Something bad happened, let me get high. So let me learn how to live life. That's basically the underlying thing is you're learning how to live life without substances, and you're getting to do that in a little slower pace than if you're because you're in there for like 45 days pretty much the whole time, and then you get out on the weekends and you can get out at night, then you're going to outside meetings, and it gives you the baby steps back out into being a productive member of society.
But not only that, for me, like learning like how to handle a situation like that, what I got out of the most was I learned I wasn't alone, and I learned I could lean on people. Like when you're out there in the streets and addiction, it's everybody for themselves. I have no problem today like asking Matt, Matt. It's so funny saying Matt twice. Maddie, Sam, Matt, Nate. It's people I can call on day or night, and they'll pretty much help me with anything as long as they enable me. And that's what I learned the most. It helped me the most. Thank you, Maddie Bear.
But yeah,
No, you're absolutely right. That is the great thing about this. Once you've become so humbled when you're in rehab and coming out of jail, and you get in there and you be able to realize, like, a lot of people come in there with nothing, and you have to be like, can I get a cigarette? Can you buy me a pop? And then you realize that some people need to grow up like Nathan. He's still bumming cigarettes from me 3 years later. But
and me.
Yeah, I know. I'm not the only one, but I'm just saying. But
feels like it sometimes, though, doesn't it?
But you get comfortable with people, and you don't. I
He's
take it
gonna
all
hate
back.
y'all.
He needs some more humility. I wish he would feel bad about it just one day, or like, hey, like maybe once a month. Like, here's a pack of cigarettes.
I know if I push the button above, I can get you a little worked up. But I feel like I need to take this back and just our bowling name is Bucket of Excuses. So whoever's not around, it's going to be whoever's fault that is.
Did not like that name. I wasn't there for
But
the.
it's fitting.
Is JT y'all's mascot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
Little
claims he's
leprechaun.
on the team. Is that true?
that is true.
You have a bucket and then him just coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bucket of excuses at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
You'd have to know CJT for any of these jokes to work.
Yeah.
He's going to love it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he watches.
We're going to make sure he does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one's going to get streamed, I believe.
But no, it's really not Roger's fault. He just had a bad couple games.
Oh, no,
it's
he's
always a
normally
team
on point.
effort. I feel like I had to go back to that. Before.
Pick it up, Roger.
Roger definitely doesn't watch.
No, just in case, Like as I was sitting here listening, it's like I need to. That was a little rough on him right there. I need to.
You did Roger bad.
Yeah, I did.
It's
I
good
did.
for him.
Hey, how often do you do these podcasts? Like once a week or so?
Once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, you might want to wash this ear hole out. My earplug is kind of sweaty.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anyways, if I can't have fun in recovery, I will stay sober. Period.
Yeah, I've said that over and over again. Like, I know that's one of the things that, like, if I went back to a job, I know that for me, if I went back to a factory job and I was miserable,
Right.
and I wasn't around a solid, support system in recovery, then I'm gonna, I know what to do when I'm miserable. At least I would be high and miserable, and that's why I know it's important for me to stay as connected as possible. It doesn't have to be like that for everybody, but 100% it's important for me to stay connected, stay around people in recovery, maintain my relationship with God, and keep trying to grow and improve. That's, I know me well enough to know that's what I have to do. So that's the one thing that I think is big for, like, you guys and other people I see come through successes is you guys have figured out what works for you.
Right.
You figured out you both have totally different personalities, you know what I mean? But you get along, you have fun, you're both strong in your recovery, you're both doing good things, you're both trying to give back. Like, that's the common bond, and we have that. The common bond, the common solution, all those things.
And that bond that you get from being stuck in a building with somebody for a long period of time. I mean, it's especially for us, we weren't able to leave, so it was just like togetherness, a lot of togetherness.
So I think I liked it. I mean, of course, I liked it better because I was there partial of the COVID lockdown. It was so much better when we could go. Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have enjoyed it too, but I don't know that I would have made it.
You did great, Maddie. You did great.
And I think that's why, being from so far away, it didn't really matter to me. Like, if
Yeah.
I was leaving, it was with somebody in recovery for the most part.
Yeah.
So it was kind of different for me than if you were to be from here, or in your case, right down the road. I mean,
Yeah.
Far from me, but
I mean, it's.
Yeah. I mean, it's very true. I think that helps a lot of people. When you don't have that way home, you can't just walk out the door and walk down to a buddy's house. It makes you think twice about your decision of leaving or how you're going to behave and act and the things you do in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have done it in Madisonville. Like, sit there and just see my streets I ran on. Then, of course, you're going to see people at the store or, the AA meet. I don't know if I could have personally done it because for me, like, I don't have to have a bad day. I could have a perfectly good day, and you just give me that one little glimpse of you enjoying you getting high. I'm like, yeah. I think about all the good shit, not the bad.
Well, yeah, that's the nature of the disease.
Yeah, so it don't take a bad day from me. So,
I mean, I never needed an excuse to drink or get high. I mean, good days, bad days, sunny days, rainy days.
I never relapsed on a bad day.
I
can tell you.
Right.
Both of them were really good days.
Yeah.
And they didn't get bad till I
remember that was one of the things they asked me, like, when I was in Centerpoint, like, and, it was my first rehab, and I had triggers. Like, they asked, what are your triggers? I'm like, my feet hitting the floor in the morning, I'm awake.
My eyes opening.
Life, there's not one specific thing that's going to just set me off. It was just how I was looking at the world and how, what I needed to get through the day. But But that's totally different now, man. And that's what I love about this. That I was able to change that perception on how I look at it myself, which was big, the world, and people around me, you know, not trying to be selfish, to be selfless. I mean,
you're a way nicer guy than the guy that checked into SOS. I promise you that.
Right.
There was definitely a big personality change there.
You never have to be that guy again, Maddie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Florida.
Yeah. Anytime, buddy.
You signed him up.
Yeah.
You did this.
No, I mean, you know, sometimes, like Michelle will never be on the podcast again. Maybe Joey will never be on the podcast.
Well, if your life is in shambles, just come to get your recovery in the bank.
Yeah, you leaned up. We couldn't hear it.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll get it.
You got
at
it
the
too
end.
far away from
not a podcast professional. You know,
Man, you got too far away from your microphone
I'll have
right
to work
there.
on it.
Yeah.
If he gets another chance. I think
Is that birds chirping?
Crickets.
is that filler.
That sounds like a very clean pusher.
Does that just keep running until you hit the
what-
button
Yeah,
again?
yeah,
or-
that's what you
It's a
say.
long one.
Yeah.
What other ones do you got?
Oh, yeah, it's no big
no.
deal. I mean,
Are these custom picked?
they
Yes.
come with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you can make your own. Anyway, thanks guys for coming on. You know, I am super proud of you. We joke around a lot, and that's the fun part about this. But to be the truth, I'm happy to get to meet you. I'm happy to be friends with you, and even you, Sam,
Yep.
as well. So love you guys.
Love you too, Matty Bear.
Check us out on YouTube or listen to our audio versions on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. And as always, stay grateful.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction or in recovery and needs guidance, speak with Turning Point's team of peer support specialists by calling 270-444-3621. You are not alone, and we are proof that recovery is possible.